Alright. So what's this about another one of your infamous dreams?
Yes. Well, last night I dreamt. It was like two dreams mixed into one. I think they didn't really kind of correlate, but they kind of did. So I know there was sort of a chronological order, but I can't remember where it exactly started. Now that I'm
Mhm.
talking about it, actually, I remember other things, but I don't remember where this part came in. So I'm just gonna start with this part anyway. So I think I was playing Batman, one of the Batman games on PlayStation, and my mum and Brad got really into it, and they wanted to watch me play it all the time. I just remember
Okay.
that, and they getting like really into the storyline of it. And I thought that was quite funny. And then there was another bit where like they pulled out like a shirt, like a football shirt, and I was like, I got really excited because it meant that someone, well, I didn't know who, but someone who I was close to had gotten into a football team. I think it was like West
Uh,
Brom or something.
okay, but still though, that's still
Yeah,
like
I was still like,
a
damn,
high level.
that's crazy. I didn't actually find out who it was. But I was just though I was really happy, and I was like looking around for that person for ages. And then we had a party around my nan's for them, but it still didn't turn off or something. I don't know. And then the next one, well, the next part in it ended up. You was there. Went to the cinema,
Eh.
and I don't know what film it was. It was just some film. Got popcorn and shit, loads of snacks. Sat down, like just like across from us, like a couple of like seats down. I think it was like the walkway in the way actually, and like there were like two girls sitting there, and they were talking. We were talking how we do sometimes, and
Mm.
then like some other guy turned up, and you were talking to that guy, and but then these girls started getting pissed off because like you're talking so much. I was just silent throughout all of this,
Okay,
and
so I'm,
then
I'm the villain of this tale. Okay.
well, you and this guy were. I think that you went to the toilet or get something to eat or something. I don't know. And then like one of the cinema attendants came in, and they were like, "Yeah, can you keep it down, please?" And I lost my shit. I was like, "I've been quiet this whole time. What are you on about? Shut up! Like, how are you gonna?" And then they were like really shocked, and I was like, "Okay, I came off really strong. I'm sorry if I like snapped there, but you know, I've been really quiet and stuff." And I was explaining like, it wasn't me. It was like people are weird, but don't worry, I'll tell them to keep it down. And then like one of the girls started crying, and they were
Oh,
like
what?
started to make it seem like we were really bad to them or something. Oh, and you know what, I can't be asked for this shit, man. And then I lost my shit again. And they were like, all right, you need to leave. And I was like, you know what, fuck, I have popcorn on my hands. I dashed it at these girls, but it didn't go to those girls. It went to like ones who were like not a part of it. They were just doing their own thing. I hit one of them in the face with it, and the popcorn went everywhere. But then I had like another bag of popcorn again. It just like spawned back in my hands. I just walk it out, like eating this full bag of popcorn. It's like, yeah, I don't
Nice.
care. And then like I came out, you were like coming back up. Oh, you're like, oh, where you going? I said, oh, we've been kicked out. He's like, all right, fair enough. We just left, and that was it.
I want to see inside your head.
I wish I could save these dreams, just like have them on a file and just go back and watch them because it was quite funny. But I also remember getting very very mad at the situation. Like I didn't need to be that mad.
But like to be fair, in a way, they're kind of immortalized now
Yeah,
within the podcast.
yeah. I'll probably forget them in a few days, but you never know. If I come back and listen to this episode, then I might be reminded
Yeah,
of my crazy dream.
I might have to make like a little intro, like a special one for when it's gonna be a Cameron Dream section.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll workshop something. The two damn cousins out, they're watching movies.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Reinventing the Real. As always, we are your hosts, Curtis and Cameron.
Woo!
We are here again to reinvent that reel. And last week, we did our first two-part episode. Well, only part 1 came out, and I'm sure if you listen to that episode, you're eagerly awaiting to hear the next part, and we're gonna pick up exactly where it left off in another episode. We're not doing that today.
Oh snap!
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait. You know, we're not gonna go into this like half-cocked. We're gonna maybe write some stuff down, have some think. We don't want to, we want this story to be big because it's a culmination of a whole universe. You know, like a whole bunch of episodes and characters we've like not necessarily created, but some of them we created. Some of them like we've made our own, and they have roles in this world and all of that. So yeah, back to the usual real stuff. No second part here, but you will get it soon. I'm sure you will. Like, we're not gonna leave it in the back burner. Don't worry. Maybe not next week. Maybe not the week after. Or it could be those weeks. Who knows? You're never gonna know. We're never gonna know. Well, we probably will, because we'll probably be like, yeah, we're ready to do that. So yeah, it's same old reel this week. Spinning the reel, getting a random film, TV show, game. Who knows? Probably film a TV show because we have a separate reel for games.
For games, a little behind the scenes for you guys there.
Yeah, we don't just we put some production effort into it. But
So,
hey,
like, yeah.
Should we get this show on the road? Starting.
Say those magic words.
Spin the reel.
Well, I'll be damned.
What do we get?
I'm gonna hit you with just these words. Seven words.
Okay.
Yeah? Sorry. It took me way too long to count. The first word is a name, and I won't say it because it will make it obvious.
Yeah.
Have a great summer. Stay cool.
A great summer, stay cool. That sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
It has one of your very, very, very heavy childhood crushes in. Still probably one of your current crushes as well.
Okay.
Although it doesn't count because he's got a girlfriend. Hi, Caitlin. We all love you. Sorry, proceed.
So is it Chloe Grace Moretz?
It is Chloe Grace Moretz.
And for great summer, stay cool. No, I don't know. I can't think.
Okay, I've got another 2 words for you.
Alright.
Cheese touch.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
It's Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
She was in that.
Did you forget?
Yeah.
She's in the first one. She's like the cool, edgy kid who sits under the bleachers.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I watched the first one, to be fair.
The name, of course, in this was Rowley, but if I said Rowley, you would have gotten it straight away.
Ah, okay.
Because like, how many
yeah,
people
now
have
I
the name
remember.
Rowley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, at the end,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when Patty's like Rowley.
Yeah.
I quote it way too often for considering how meh that film is. But yeah, we got we are reinventing a reel. We got Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Did you read any of the books growing up?
Yeah, I read quite a few actually. I had quite a few.
Yeah.
I think, where did I stop? A purple one. I think it was the one where they had the egg. Was it?
Yeah. I think I stopped around there as well because I was like, all right, I'm getting too old for these.
Yeah.
And like I'd get really excited and I'd buy it and then I'd finish it in a day because they're glorified comic books.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, he used to blow my mind. I was like, how does he write these so quickly? I was like, because he's probably writing like 4 at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were pretty solid. for what they were. Uh, count of three. Who's the best character in those books? Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Rowley.
Roderick.
You know what? It was a toss-up between the two of them because I don't like him in the books, but I like him in the movies.
Who, Roderick?
Yeah.
Oh, that's valid actually. Yeah, I take that back. Yeah, because he's just a prick in the books, isn't it?
Yeah. In the movies, he had more of a character, I feel like.
Yeah.
Especially in the fucking summer one. Because that was when
Yeah.
they kind of actually became friends a little bit.
Roderick rules.
Oh yeah, let's take those randomizers.
You know what? I somewhat have an idea, like a direction.
Oh hell yeah!
But I'll see. We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. Because I've got quite a one. Okay. Starring Steve Buscemi. I can work with that. Okay. There has to be a food fight in it. That's also doable.
Yeah, I can't remember putting that in there, but yeah, cool.
And massive product placement.
Oh yeah, okay, I can see that.
These are all very doable.
Yeah, very, very.
Okay, so the idea I had, and feel free to stop me because it's quite out there. What if a cheese touch is real?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like a kind of like a zombie outbreak at this school.
Okay.
That's it. That's the extent of my idea.
Yeah, all right, we could work with that. I like that.
And like Steve Buscemi's like the principal.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's like there's like a select group of teachers maybe because we're always following the kids.
Yeah.
So we're like following these teachers, and they actually this sounds too much like that movie.
Oh, what, the kindergarten one?
Yeah. Cooties or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just heard it. Sorry.
No.
I was like, I really like that premise, and then I was like, yeah, it's because it's been done. What was it again? Steve Buscemi, food fight, and product placement.
You know what?
What?
There's like these big, I don't know what they're really called, but the people like make their own like Diary of a Wimpy Kid like panels, and it's kind of like a fan fiction thing, but there's like one where I think someone did a video on it once, and it's like Greg was like really depressed. They gotten older or something. No, I just think that would be funny, but I think that's someone's idea, which is what I was getting at. Okay. We want to capture like the essence, the characters, and you know. I say, let us go. Let's have like our own original idea and have like the characters based off it. So like a situation that they find themselves in, like they go to summer camp or something, or they're introduced to like a new group of people, and they're like, we need to keep our dynamic the same, and you know we all know each other and blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. But hijinks ensue and people change and whatnot.
Okay. Hey, let's do this then.
All right. So who should start, me or you?
I'll start this week.
Go for
I
it.
feel like I haven't like started in a minute, you know?
Yeah, go for it.
Interior, bus. No, But yeah, so like a summer camp, like a lake kind of
Yeah,
place.
yeah, it can do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, interior bus. There's like a really upbeat song, like a not like a Mr. Brightside, but you know, like something in that kind of vein playing.
Yeah.
Um, and everyone's just like, yeah, and all, the camera like pans like down the middle aisle, and it's like panning across all the students and whatnot, and you see like a distressed Steve Buscemi, and he's got like a giant like a life jacket kind of thing on.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of them guys. He's putting sunblock on his nose and all of that. It's just like panning around, and um, and then you see so you can hear Greg narrating all of this,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "You guys know who I wait? How old did you say you wanted to have him? Like older?"
I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I'm not too sure. It's up to you.
Hmm. Because had he did they just start middle school in the thing, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
So what if we have this as like the summer before they go into high school?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So that's happening, and because Rowley's always actually been like a decent human being as well.
Yeah.
So he's like sat on his own, and like so Greg's like going on like on the narration on the voiceover. He's like, yeah. He's like, you know, this is the last summer before we head up to big boy school. Well, he doesn't say big boy.
Yeah.
He's not a child. But he's like, you know, this is before we head off to high school. So this is my last chance to really make a big impression.
Yeah.
Especially because you know that blonde girl from Jessie that he liked.
Yeah.
She's moving away next. Like she's moving to a different school. So this is my my last chance to really seal the deal.
Or
And then he's like, "Where am I?" He's like, well, I should be there." And he's like, there's like an arrow that like points next to Rowley. It's like ding, ding, ding. And the bus is just pulling off and driving down the street.
yeah.
And Rowley's like on his phone. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "This is like the fourth time I'm trying you. I don't know where you are. I just, you know, hopefully you're not dead in a ditch somewhere.
Oh.
You know, love you, man. I really hope I can see you at camp because it's gonna be totally tubular." Haha. And like as this is going on, like it cuts to Greg and he's still in bed.
Damn.
Like in his tighty whities or whatever. And his mum comes in. He's like, and she's like, "What are you doing?" She's just like finished a shift, like a night shift or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why are you still here?" And he's like, "It's still early." And he's like, "Why are you here so early? Like, did your shift finish like quick, like sooner?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No." He's like, "You're late." And he's like, "Huh? That can't. How? What?" And he looks at his clock and he sees that it's been changed. And you just see like Roderick behind his mum, and he's like, "I can't believe he fell for that twice." And he's like giggling to himself, and he's like, I can't miss camp now." And so his mum's like, "Roderick, you're gonna drive him to camp."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What? Why have I got it?" She's like, "Well, you're the one who obviously reset his clock." And he's like, No, what? You've got no proof of that." He's like, "Put your clothes on, Greg. Get your bag ready. The two of you are going on a road trip."
Well.
And then take it from here.
Yeah. To like, upbeat punk song starts playing. You know how it is.
Yeah.
It's like a montage of them getting ready, and like, Greg's like, I don't know. He looks at his diary and he's like, "Oh, should I take it with me? Or I don't know." And he's like, he just shakes his head. And then he just goes into the bathroom, starts brushing his teeth, all getting ready, like doing his hair, like smiles at the thing, like, "Yeah, I look good." Grabs his bag. His mum's in his room. She's like, "Oh yeah, don't forget this and this and this." He's like, "Yeah, oh, I got it. It's fine. It's fine." She's like, "All right." Oh, I love you. Take care out there, all right? Oh, and Roderick, like, oh, what is it? It's bad enough. I've already got to go. He's like, oh yeah, well, I called the camp just a moment ago to say you're dropping in there, and they'd love to have you stay as a, extra help. And he's like, what? But I got loaded dice. We're finally gonna like play at a massive venue. Like we're going on under crazy gumball power. The band,
Mm.
they've got a sold out show. We were playing under them. She's like, oh, I don't care. You should have thought about that before you changed your brother's alarm clock. It's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, Greg Heffley. He's like,
Why is
oh,
he calling him Greg Heffley like they're not
I
brothers?
don't know. So, like, he grabs his bag. The mom says goodbye, and they jump in the van. And then, the so Roderick starts driving out, and he's like, goes the opposite way, and Greg's like, you do realize that we're supposed to go this way? And he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a detour. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's like, I need to get to camp. This is my last, like, summer with all these people. Some of my friends are moving away. I don't know if I'm gonna see half of the people again. He's like, look, you're gonna have plenty more time to create memories. All right, listen, I need to find a replacement for a loaded diaper. Like, I can't not be there. Like, if I can, I don't know, maybe get them to change the date or something. No, that wouldn't work. I don't know. Ah, so he's just like panicking, driving around, and Greg's like, I need to get to camp. We can't. I can't miss it. They're not gonna let me in if we don't get there. He's like, relax, it's fine. We're gonna get there. Mum said she called ahead of time. We'll just say there's gonna be traffic and stuff. Don't worry, don't worry. Just Greg's like a whole like mess. He's full of anxiety and all that, and he's like, you know what, whatever. And he just like goes into his bag to pull out his phone or something. So he's like, I'm just gonna listen to music or whatever. And he sees a diary in there. He's like, no, Mom, I didn't want to bring my damn diary. Oh. And then like Roderick sees it. He's like, you're still carrying around that damn diary? Come on, you're going into high school, man. You don't need that anymore. He's like, oh well, I wasn't gonna bring it. Mom must have packed it. Oh. He's like, yeah, surely you're gonna get loads of girls at camp holding that thing around. He's like, whatever. And he's like, he goes to roll down the window, like he starts winding it down. He's like, he's gonna throw it out, and then Roderick's like, oh, little Greg's growing up, eh? You gonna throw out that diary? He's like, he looks at it, and he's like, oh, I can't do it. No. He's like, oh yeah, I didn't think you had the skin to do it. All right, anyway, stay in the car. And they just pull up to some guy's house. It's like Roderick's band with me, and he's like, so there's been a change of plans. And the bandman's like, change of plans? What do you mean? What are you talking about? You do realize what time it is, right? As well. It's like, yeah, I know it's early. Oh, I have to take my stupid brother to camp. And they're like, what? You do realize? Oh, he's like, oh no, you're gonna be back, right? It's like, well, about that. What do you mean about that? See, my mom signed me up to be one of the counselors because I pranked my brother.
Oh snap!
It's like, what? So you're telling me you're not gonna be there? We're not gonna have a drummer to play the show? And he's like, well, the thing is, like, I mean, it's fine. There'll be other opportunities, and you're like, no, there'll never be another opportunity. You know what? Like, there's been too many times where you've messed us over, Roderick. Like, I feel like, well, we might need to have a talk about the band. He's like, no, it's fine. Okay, well, I'll convince the band to change the venue. He's like, how are you gonna do that? This is a sold out show. No one's gonna change. It's like, well, festivals are pretty big, right? He's like, what? He's like, yeah, like, well, why don't we convince the band that there's gonna be this mad festival at this camp,
Okay.
and then we're gonna we convince them, then like they'll tell their fans, they'll post it out on social media. Their fans will obviously go. Like, this band, the Gumball's fans are like crazy loyal, and then we'll just have like this crazy crap camp festival, and he's like, isn't it for like kids? You know, I don't exactly know what the age change
Yeah.
from high school to middle school is, but
I think it's
insert
like
that age here.
15 or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
isn't there gonna be like a bunch of 15-year-olds? It's like, that's fine, don't worry. Like, we'll we'll section off the camp. Like, it'll be crazy. Just come to this address tomorrow. I'll have it all sorted out. I'll go like talk to the band now. It will all be fine. It's like, oh, I'm trusting here, dude, because this could have been big for us. So if this doesn't work, you're out.
You're out.
It's like, fine, whatever. He just goes, gets back in his van, and just hits his head off the steering wheel. And Greg's like, "What? You're not playing that show after all, then?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you're loving this, aren't you? Just because you can wake up normally in the morning, you can set 2 alarms like normal people, or you still use a clock instead of using your phone, like."
You still use clock.
Roger's like, nah, I've got an idea, but I don't know how I'm gonna, pull this off. Like, well, you're gonna have to do this idea quick because I'm losing precious camp time. Like, I just want to go camp. I need to see people. Like, what? Rowley? You're always hanging around with Rowley. Forget about him, man. Like, this is big. Your brother could be rich. He could be a famous rock star. My dream could come true. He's like, yeah, and I could finally. And then he just stops and he's like, "Oh, what? Finally, what, Greg? Huh? What? Get a girlfriend? Yeah, sure. Yeah, all right. So if I can pull this off, then you'll definitely get a girlfriend. Trust me." He's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" It's like, "Oh well, let's just say I'm about to make your camp a hell of a lot more awesome, Roderick style."
That.
And then Greg's like, "Oh damn." So then they're driving off. He's like, "I've just got to make like a couple more stops. Don't worry, it's all fine. You'll get to camp, and trust me, like this. I think this is gonna be awesome for me as well." Greg's like, "How would you enjoy it? Like the prospect of camp more than me? Like you didn't even want to go. You're just gonna be a counselor. You have to like play around with kids and do activities and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, there'll be some activities happening. And Greg's like, okay, that sounds a bit weird, but whatever." So they stop off at like this crazy dive bar, and then like there's like bikers all outside of it and stuff, and Greg's like, "I don't really want to stay in the car," and Roderick's like, "They won't let kids in here. Like, you're gonna have to." He's like, "But do you see the people outside there?" And he's like, "Fine, come on, hurry up then." So they go into this bar, and they see like they go to up to the bar, like, and there's a guy behind it. He's like, "Oh, Roderick, didn't know you came into here. What can I get you?" He's like, "No, I'm actually here to talk to you about something else." He's like, "Oh, you're not pulling out the show, are you? Like, you know, we love Loaded Diaper. Like, we think this is gonna be big for you. All our fans could get onto you." He's like, "Well, that's the thing. Could we maybe change the venue?" He's like, "Change the venue? What are you talking? One day before the show?" And like, meanwhile, I don't know. Greg's like sat up at a table or something, and like, uh, some guy walks up to him. And he's like, "Hey, kid, do you know where I can find uh, I don't know. Give me something. Insert something here."
Twinkies.
"Sure. You know where I can find Twinkies?" He's like, "Twinkies? Oh, I think I got one in my bag." And he just like starts rustling around. He's like, "Oh, here you go, man." He's like, "Yeah, okay, sure. Thanks, kid." And he just walks off. Now for the older viewers there, that was that is a joke that will fly under the radar for the kids. Anyway, back to Roderick. Guy's like, "We can't change. What are you on about?" It's like, no, it's all good. So I'm going to this camp. He's like, "You're going to camp? How old are you again? Like, are you not serious about your music?" He's like, "No, listen. Like, it's not just a camp. Like, it might look like a camp, but it's a front for actually one of the most craziest festivals ever. It's like, what? How does that make sense? Like, this is a camp for kids, isn't it? Like no, 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 no. Trust me, because at one side, all of those people could be doing their own thing, doing these activities and stuff, and then on the other side, there's crazy music, loud parties, everything is it's awesome. Trust me. It's like, how have I never heard of this before? That's the thing. You're getting in on the cutting room floor. This is
Hey.
the first ever one. He's like, no, nah, I'm out. Sorry, we'll have to find someone else. He's like, no, 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 trust me, trust me, trust me. Like, this is gonna be big. Like, you tell all your friends to come. Like, I've already got like 2, 3 more bands like lined up to play as well. You'll be the headliner as long as Loaded Diaper can play under you and maybe play a song with you. But that's only if you can't. Like, this will be crazy. I've got it all set up. I've already arranged everything. Don't worry about it. It's like, and you're sure about this? Why didn't you say about it sooner? He's like, it's because I didn't know. I didn't realize about this opportunity until this morning. Till like it hit me over the head. And now we've got an opportunity to become some of the biggest stars ever. We can sign on with Sony Music.
Oh no, that's big.
They're like, Sony Music, crazy. Some massive stars are with that. Like, yeah, don't worry. So, all right then, Roderick, I'll be there. Band will be there, but you gotta make sure that this is the craziest festival of all time. It's like, come on. My name isn't Roderick. It'll be crazy. Come on, Greg. And Greg just like jumps off the chair and just like waves at the biker guy, like, bye, and he's eating the Twinkie, and he's like, cheers for that. So they get in the car, and like Greg was like, oh, I kind of liked it in there. It was kind of nice. Oh, I might go there with Rowley one time. And then Roderick just goes, ah, oh, I'm such an idiot. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? It's so for God's sake. And like Greg's like, what's wrong? Jesus Christ, can we just go to camp now? Like, can you not scream? Like, just drive, man, drive. He's like, I can't drive. I don't think you're going to camp tonight. I can't go. We have to leave the country. We have to get out of here. I've made a terrible mistake. He's like, why am I in this? Like, I just want to go to camp. Just take me to camp. God, you can go to Mexico or wherever. I just want to like live out my life and become have fun with the end of my days. And Riley's like, nah, no, Roderick's like, nah, you're in this now. We're in this together, right? We're brothers, right? We're gonna find it. We gotta find 3 bands to play at this camp, and
Oh snap!
like we gotta make sure it's gonna be crazy and
Yeah,
all of that.
I've got an idea.
Go on, yeah. I was gonna pass it over to you anyway,
Oh, okay, cool.
just before
So
they hit
then-
the road.
So next up is like a little montage or whatever
Yeah,
to like is the song Stand Out? Is that this one? You know the one is like no?
no,
It's on. Do you remember there was that Disney skateboarding game?
yeah.
Sell Out. It's called Sell Out.
Sell
It's
out.
on that. Sell out with me. Oh yeah, sell out.
Oh,
with me
real big
tonight.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that one that's playing, and it's like them like on a montage, like going around trying to find, like bands, and they managed to find. Wait, so when you say 3 bands, is it 3 bands including Loaded Diaper?
No. Yeah, including,
Okay, cool.
including. Yeah, so there's like,
Including. So 3 and then the big band.
yeah. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they have to find. So they managed to find the 3 of them. And they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we've done this. I can't, blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
And then Roderick's like, "You know what? You're not too bad after all, kid." Like to Greg, because maybe
Yeah.
like Greg's the one who might manage to convince the last band to
Yeah.
play. And he's like, "Hey, here are my lucky drumsticks."
No.
He's like, just go be yourself. It'll be fine. He's like, thanks, man. He's like, yeah, whatever. Butt munch. Get out of my car. And so like Greg gets out and he gets there, and Rowley's like, Greg. You know how Rowley be.
Yeah.
And he's like, where are you, man? I thought you weren't coming. And Greg's like, oh, sorry, we just got a little bit sidetracked. We got stuck in traffic. He's like, hey, spread the word though to everyone. There's gonna be this sick party. Like, should we say tonight or the next night?
Yeah, it's the next night.
Okay, there's gonna be a sick party tomorrow night. Spread the word, but don't let any of the teachers know. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, of course. And he like goes around. He's telling everyone, and then like they're sat in the cafeteria. So it's him, Rowley, Fregley's there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like talking about the big show the next night, and they're like, yeah, it's actually gonna be pretty baller. And he's like, oh, you're talking all this smack. No, you're talking about how great this is, but I don't know. I don't really know if it's gonna be there. If they're gonna be there, because they just keep saying there's gonna be a surprise guest as well, like as the big band.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this surprise guest is even gonna show up, if they're even gonna exist. Maybe it's just an excuse for Greg to promote his brother's crappy band.
Oh.
And he's like, hey, you take that back. It's a loaded diaper of a best damn band this side of Mississippi. That's MISSISSIPPI. Thank you very much. And he's like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant, like, he's probably lying, And Greg just like looks at Rowley, and Rowley just kind of shrugs. He's like, I mean, you have got a tendency to, and he just like storms out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, God. He's like, why am I trying to impress any of these idiots? He was like, none of them like me like that anyway. Whatever. I'll show them all tomorrow. They're gonna be so mad, and they're gonna see not Rowley. I just did it as well. They're gonna see Roderick up there, and it's gonna be so sick. And he's just like, it cuts to so it's the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like everyone's getting ready to go on, and they're all like prepping and whatnot. And Roderick rocks up. He's like, "Oh, sorry guys, I just had to head back and go get a thingamajigger, go get like my other drumsticks because I gave my lucky ones to my brother." He's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I'll tell you what's up." He's like, "Matt."
Oh.
And he's like, "Why? What's wrong with Matt?" He's like, "He broke his hand."
Oh.
He's like, we were doing cartwheels like 10 minutes ago, and we're pretty sure it's broken, but we're not like 100%. And we look at Matt, and it's just like flopping about, like in Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
And it's just like flopping around, and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah, that doesn't look healthy." He's like, "Yeah, probably not. I'm in a lot of pain right now." And he's like, "What the hell are we gonna do?" He's like, we have to impress. What was the name of the band again? Gumball.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to impress Gumball, and we can't play most of our songs without that lead guitar riff. Is that none of us can play it except for you, and none of the rest of us can play drums. And he's like, I don't know. And like just at that moment, Greg comes and knocks on the door.
Oh.
He's like, "Hey," he's like, "I just wanted to wish you luck. Before you go on, you're gonna kill it." He's like, "Butt munch, come here." He's like, "I would never ask you for anything. I need you to play drums for us tonight." And he's like, "But I don't know." He's like, "I just need you to play drums. All you need to do is move your foot and your hands and look inside your heart, and the rhythm will fight, and like the music starts swelling." He's like, "That's all well and good. I don't know how to play drums." He's like, "Okay, it's fine. I'll show you right now." And then it like cuts. And you just hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, here they come." So like you see all the other two bands like opening.
Yeah.
And then Thingamajigger. And like so like intercut with them performing the other two bands is like Roderick teaching Greg like what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And then they go, "And here they are. Loaded diaper." He's like, And they come out, and he's like, "We're Loaded Diaper, and hope we don't stink up the place too much." So literally all Greg is doing is just like hitting the kick drum.
Yeah.
And they keep looking at him and they're like, and he's just making it look like he's moving his hands, but nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
And you can see Greg freaking out, and he's like, I don't know what to do. And just out of the corner of his eye, he just sees like hands waving.
Yeah.
Because like thingamajigger. So his parents, so it was all the parents caught word of this, and they all came down to protest.
Yeah.
And like, this is ridiculous. I sent my kids to a summer camp, not to a sex orgy.
Yeah.
And so at the corner of his eye, he just sees his dad, Steve Zahn, like waving at him, and he's like doing the drum pattern like at the corner of his eye, and he's like, "What?" And so like his dad runs on stage, and they swap places.
That.
And his dad comes in, he's like, and he like bodies it, and Roderick's just like looking at him in like disbelief, and he's like. Oh. And so Greg's little brother, whose name escapes
Manny.
me. Oh, thank you. You were on that. Straight away. Manny looks up and he's like, Dad can play drums. He's like, where do you think Roderick gets it from? And it's just like so the dad has no idea what's going on, but he's just kind of like feeling it out. He's that good of a drummer.
Yeah.
And it's a real like whiplash. There's like a bit, and so this big guitar solo they're on about. Roderick does a bit of the guitar, and then the dad does a bit on the drums, and then Roderick does a bit. Yeah. And it ends, and it's like, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
They're like, loaded diaper, loaded diaper, loaded diaper. And they get off stage and they're like, "Oh my god, that was amazing! That was so good!" And they're like, "Dad, I can't believe you did that." He's like, I back in my day, I was pretty good at." And he like does the, like when he spins it on his finger and then blows it like a gun. He's
yeah.
Like, and he's like, "All right, you ruined the moment, Dad." And he's like, "Nah." He's like, "Anything I can do to help, because you're a talented musician. You're better than I ever was. I want to see you go out there and live out your dream."
Oh.
And like you just see Roderick like kind of melt, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then you go, "Woo!" And the moment you've all been waiting for, the special guest, Gumbo. And like Steve Buscemi in the audience is just like, "Oh my god, it's Gumbo!"
I was actually gonna say that, there was gonna be a joke maybe that, like earlier on, like he starts catching wind. He's like, "Oh, there's gonna be a show here," but then he's also like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to dip out of camp because I need to go play a show somewhere." And he's like, doesn't realize that it's actually there that he's playing the show as well, so he's actually in the band, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Councillor Buscemi."
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, that's better. Camp Councillor Buscemi.
Because I like the way you were framing him as like the timid guy or whatever who's putting on the sunscreen, but he's actually in this big ass band as well, and he just likes to help out. He likes helping the kids, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's hard. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's Principal Buscemi!" And so like all the family are all stood together, and they just hug each other, and they're like, "Yeah, this has been pretty decent." And like Greg goes, "Oh, 1 minute, I'll see you guys in a bit," and goes over to Rowley, and they do their little handshake, and they're like, "Are we good?" He's like, "Yeah, we're good." He's like, "How you feeling about September?" And he's like, "As well, as long as we've got each other's backs, there's nothing that can really scare me, I guess at the end of the day, I'm not as wimpy as I thought I was.
Damn.
And like the camera is then like behind them, so you can still see the crowd.
Yeah.
But so it's shot behind them, like facing the stage, and it zooms out, and you see them like put their arms around each other.
Yeah.
And as it zooms out, you just see fireworks go off in the sky,
Yeah.
and then the fireworks it says the end.
I was also gonna say as well,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
pans down maybe to like that's what I thought you were framing up. It's gonna like pan down to the book on the floor. It's like they didn't need it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't need it
Yeah.
anymore. He's given it up. And then like Manny runs over and he picks it up. He's like, oh, okay. Diary of a
Yeah.
Wimpy Kid will return, but with Manny.
Yeah.
No.
That's the post credit scene.
Yeah. He picks up. He's like, ah,
Yeah.
Diary
Oh no, I
of a
actually
Wimpy
really like
Kid.
that. Like they're about to get in the thingamajigger.
Yeah.
They're about to get in the car to go home, and they're like, "Manny, hurry up!" And he's like, "Oh, what's this?" Yeah. I like that. Right, look at us go,
Never
man. I feel like every night we're really hitting it with these heartwarming ones recently.
That was good. I mean, it was a bit more Roderick heavy at first. I
Yeah.
did fall into the trap of that, but
No, but let's be real, that he's the better character.
yeah, I feel like it didn't really hit out the camp thing as much, but it was all good.
Mm. I mess with it.
As do I.
I like us, man. Look at us. Look, who would have thought, huh?
Not me. Well, I did because I went all into
Yeah.
this, but yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you like that, please make sure to give us a follow on all your favorite platforms. You know, like us, share us about. It would mean the world to us.
Yeah.
And as always, I've been Cameron.
And I have been Curtis.
See you next week, man.
See you next week.